Hey guys, Studio Piki here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are still on Pokemon Red. We are walking through the end of the Safari Zone, catching the Pokemon with the fishing rod, as I have not done any fishing in here before. So our main goal is the Dratini, but I'm catching stuff along the way that I don't actually have yet, which is what you guys are seeing me do now. I did cut out a lot of the fluff that I'm doing. Well, actually, I didn't cut it out. I sped it up. But it just makes things go a little smoother. Still waiting on that Dratini that will be coming up right now. I think the next one is the Psyduck. Yes, the Psyduck. I actually got this one first try, I got the Krabby first try, and I got the Slowpoke first try. That just shows how hard the other Pokemon were to get. The Scyther, the Tauros, the Kangaskhan, the Chansey. Dratini did take me a few tries. It took me a bit. And the spawn rate wasn't bad. I think the spawn rate was like 20 or 25%, which is like every 4 Pokemon on average. So it's not bad. And this was a cakewalk compared to the other Pokemon that I just caught. And I was thinking that Dratini would be a lot worse, although Dratini wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So that was a huge relief to me. So now I have a bunch of steps, 132, and I figured I'd just walk through and see if I can find some items, which I don't normally pick up a lot of the items, simply because you have a limited storage space for items, and it can get real cluttered, and it's super easy to fill that up, especially if you're constantly carrying TMs or things like the Poke Flute or the item finder or the Sylph lenses or the Sylph goggles. So right now I am trying to find some professor NPCs that hand out items when you actually collect Pokemon. There's one for like 20, there's one for 50. And I can't remember where all of them are or which ones I have actually gotten items from. And I'm specifically looking for the one that hands out the experience share for 50 Pokemon. Because after going through the Safari, I had definitely caught over 50. So obviously I found one of them with the item finder, but that's not the one I was looking for. Because if we're going to fill the Pokedex, we're going to need to level up Pokemon that need evolutions just for the Pokedex entries. So currently, I know it's one of these buildings that are connecting through the paths that you have to travel through. I just can't remember which one. And then I remembered that this path actually has one, and there it is. So shortly after this, I actually get my Venusaur to evolve. Or not my Venusaur, my Ivysaur to evolve into Venusaur. And after this, I go and swap out Venusaur and Dratini, because Dragonite does not become Dragonite until like level 50. So I figured if I get an early start, it may not be so bad trying to get it to level 55 for that evolution, because it takes so long. And because I took the right path all the way down along the docks and the long path in the maze, I never actually came down the bicycle path, so I usually save this for after for some extra XP, and currently traveling up it, because whenever I go down, sometimes I miss trainers and it's annoying to have to turn around and go back up. So I start from the bottom so I can slowly hit all of the trainers going up through there. A lot of these are pretty low level, so I'm still able to use Thrash, although Thrash doesn't really work that well against opponents that are around 35 and up. It doesn't really do the one-hits. I learned very quickly that Thrash is not that useful if it gets disabled, although it doesn't end, so it basically blocks you from using any kind of abilities. Like, you can't swap Pokemon or anything until the move is done being disabled, which I believe is about 5 turns, if I remember that right. And I can't even remember which one of these fights, but one of these fights, I think it is either a coughing or a wheezing that disables Thrash while I'm using Thrash. Oh, there's the Venusaur. So I do look around this patch of grass just to see if there are any rare Pokemon that may pop up. The only thing that seems uncommon in this patch of grass was a Fearow. And after that, I pretty much just lost interest. I may go back through that patch of grass whenever I play through Yellow in the future, so that I can get some EVs. As long as that is in the original. I know it was with Let's Go. So there was also like Arcanines and stuff in there as well. So I believe this is the time where I swap out, yes, Venusaur and Dratini. Just for that extra experience boost. And of course, I stop here to grab a TM because I figured I would forget later on, and my inventory was full. That is one of the big irritations of mine with these original games, is you are limited with inventory space. Now I go back, and oh look, another Snorlax. And even though I already have one, I do like to recatch these. I pretty much do it in all the games that have sleeping Pokemon, or invisible Kecleons, so on and so forth. The Sudowoodos are another one too that are used as a path obstruction. Looking for professors, there were none. Back to the battles. It might have actually been a Muck that used Disable. I think it was a Muck. We're about to find out. Yeah, a lot of these go down pretty easily with Thrash. And something I've learned with using Thrash is, after 3 uses, if there are Pokemon left, a good thing to do is to swap out to different Pokemon and then bring Nidoking back out to eliminate the confusion that it gets from using Thrash. Sometimes you can get a 4th attack with Thrash, but it's not indefinite every time, so you gotta be careful with that. I feel like the older games, Thrash or damaging self with confusion, or due to confusion, hurts more. It could just be me, but I feel like it hurts more. So now, I realize that I'm missing a gym. And it's something that I could have easily done before, but for some reason I skipped over it. I am used to trying to take the guard's T, and I believe that's in one of the newer games. It might have been Fire Red. I think it was Fire Red. You get T from another NPC, and then you take it to the guards, and it unlocks all of the guards so you can travel through to this city here. But that's not a thing, so I had to go get, I can't remember if it was lemonade or water, so I bought one of each, just so I could get to this town, and I immediately go fight Koga, because that's easier to do than Team Rocket. It takes less time, and I was trying to wrap up the game, but I kind of wanted to get this out of the way and grab either the Hitmonchan or the Hitmontop. And if you have a preference of those two, go ahead and comment in below and tell me why, because I'd like to hear it. Because they're both pretty decent Pokemon, as far as I'm concerned. But I have to choose one, and then either in blue or yellow, I'll choose the other ones for Pokedex completion. Probably Pokemon Blue, seeming that I already have a copy of that. Yeah, I ended up choosing Hitmonlee. I usually choose Hitmonchan first, but for some reason, I just felt like going Hitmonlee today. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you guys liked the video. Go ahead and subscribe and share my videos around to help me out. Stay tuned for the next one, and I gotta catch them all.